Hi everybody, this is Keep On Moving with Val, and today we're just going to do a short standing yoga sequence. This is great for beginners. I know a lot of people are intimidated by yoga, and sometimes they walk into a yoga class and they feel like it's already too advanced for them. So we're going to try and do just some of the very basic yoga poses today, going slow and easy. Not only good for beginners, but also people who are recovering from an injury or are just feeling a little lethargic or not wanting to commit to a long sequence of exercises, but really need to just stretch and get going for the day. So as we do these exercises, just remember that this is about your own pace. If something feels uncomfortable, don't do it full out. If you want to skip part of it, that's fine too. We're all beginners at some point, and we all have to start somewhere. And sometimes it's nice, as someone not a beginner, to come back and do a beginner class again and just remember what the basic movements feel like. So as with all yoga classes, we're just going to start with some breathing. I like to place my hands together in sort of the classic prayer pose here because it's a nice connection from one side of the body to the other. It centers you both physically and mentally ready to start. We're going to take a deep breath now and extend the arms up. And exhale, bring them out. And now breathe in again. Press the hands back together to center. Feel like you're using all of your lung capacity here. So as you breathe in, you breathe into the maximum and exhale as much air out as you can. And one more. Bring the palms together to the middle. As I say, we're not going to the floor today, and sometimes that's a struggle for people getting up and down from the mat. So we're just going to start in traditional mountain pose, which is just a way of aligning your posture so that you're standing as tall as you can, your chest is expanded, your abdominal muscles are slightly lifted, your shoulders release down. And then just feel the weight on the soles of your feet so that you're not rolling inwards or outwards. That helps stabilize your ankles, your knees, all the way up through the hips. And I like to start with the slow movements, the small ones, and work up to the bigger movements so that everything is a progression and we're not jumping into a big stretch too soon. So as you're standing there, turn the head slowly to look over one shoulder. And let's go back the other way. And again, turning to one shoulder. Keep the fingers and arms soft as you're doing this. Keep the shoulders relaxed so the head moves easily. And looking straight ahead. Now look up. I'm looking up into the branches of the trees. Tilt the head forward. And let's coordinate this with our breath. Breathe in as you look up. Exhale as you go forward. And let's do that one more time, just so you're feeling that easy motion of the neck up and down. Looking straight ahead again. Feel like you're standing tall enough that your ears are just over your shoulders, and just tilt the head to one shoulder. Not forcing it, but also relaxing through the neck muscles so that they release. And up and over to the other side. Let's do that again. This one might be the most uncomfortable for some people. You might feel that pulling down the shoulder. Just lift the head just a little, then don't go as far. And back the other way. We're going to bring our hands to the sides of the head now. We're just cupping the back of the head with the elbows out. Bring your elbows close in, and now feel the stretch across your chest, your pectoral muscles, as you open those elbows. Let's do that again. Bring the elbows in. We're just warming up here, getting each part of this stretch. And one more time. Open those elbows. Now just open the arms into the cactus arms. A little more lifting in the upper back. This is great for your posture. Rock your hands back behind your head. And just feel how that opens your back there, right between your shoulder blades and the back. Nice big stretch. And now lift the arms straight up to the ceiling, the sky. This is called volcano pose. Just a long straight line of the body. When you lift your arms overhead, you help, it's beneficial for your heart. You expand and lengthen your spine. And now if your shoulders are creeping up too much, let them soften, but keep stretching, keep stretching. And now turn your palms forward, and just like we did with bent arms, stretch your hands slightly back behind your head. You're going to feel that stretch up the front of your body. That should feel good. Now we're going to stretch the full spine just a little bit more, and we're going to start with twists, bringing the arms straight out. We're going to bring one hand to the shoulder, fold the other behind your back, and just look towards that shoulder that your hand is resting on. Let's do that the other way. Again, if it's very uncomfortable, don't twist as far. Your spine is designed to do all of these movements. So we like to keep our spine strong and flexible in all the different ways that it can move. And let's bring our arms straight up again. Now we're going to stretch the spine to the sides with your hands together. Think of your arms like a compass, the needle of a compass. And it's pointing upwards and over. Lift up and stretch the other way. Feel the sides of the body getting a nice stretch there. Again, if you get a twinge or something in your ribs, don't go as far. This is called the reed pose, like a reed of grass blowing in the wind. And stretch to the other side. Good. We're ready to move the spine forward and back now. So, with the arms overhead, take a big breath, and we're going to do our first forward bend. Reach out, take this slowly now, because this is a big stretch. And as you come down, stop where you need to. You may need to rest your hands on your shins or your knees. If you can go farther, you can hold your ankles, or you can touch the floor if your hands go that far. And then just relax the neck down. Relax the head so it feels loose. You're going to feel this big stretch all the way down the back, over the back of your hips, and down into your hamstrings and the backs of your legs. And we're not going to stay too long. We want to come up slowly so that your back doesn't start complaining. Slowly lift up. Whenever we do a stretch one way, we like to counterbalance that with a stretch the other way. This time, reach behind your back. I'm going to turn sideways, clasping your hands, stretch down past your tailbone. This is called open heart stretch. You're opening your shoulders, you're lifting in your sternum, you're stretching down with the arms. And this is just a very gentle back bend. We did the forward bend, this is our back bend. And release the arms, relax the shoulders. We're going to do some light stretching for our feet and ankles. Just rolling up to the ball of one foot and back down. Stretch the other foot and back down. Just back and forth. Push with your toes. Press down. Push with the toes. Press down. Stretch again and stretch. And we're going to do one more on each side. Those arches flexing. Now we're going to lift our toes up on one foot. With the heel down, you're going to feel a different kind of stretch there. And down. Lift the toes up on the other foot. And down. And stretch again. Good. Now one more time on this one. Just stretch. And now we're ready to engage our hips and lower legs. We're going to do a chair pose. I'm going to do this from the side again. Again, we start with the feet parallel, just like you're in a skiing position, so that when you bend your knees, they're going right out over your toes, keeping your knees and ankles stable. And we're going to push our hips back on this one. Stretch the arms forward. This is chair pose. It's like you're about to sit down on a chair, which isn't actually there. Now breathe through this one. As you do it, you're going to feel lots of different muscles working. You're going to feel the muscles around your hips working and into your thighs, into your knees. If it's really uncomfortable, come up a little bit higher. If you think you can go deeper, if your knees are pretty stable, try it a little deeper. Let's stretch up out of that for a moment. Let the legs relax, and we're going to do it one more time. People are sometimes intimidated by yoga. They think you have to get into some really extreme poses and twist yourself like a pretzel. Some of these poses are actually very simple. They're tried and true, and people have been doing them for centuries. This one is a strengthener, obviously, more building strength in the muscles and the stretching. I like to say that we do 4 different things in yoga. We work on balance, we work on flexibility, we work on strength, and we work on mental well-being. We're not doing a lot of balancing today. That's another area that intimidates people. They're nervous of falling, but you are welcome, of course, to use a wall or a chair if there's one nearby. And we're going to do the simplest balance of all, which is just lifting the foot a little off the ground. So we're going to flex the foot just like we did earlier, arms forward. You can stay in this position if you want, or you can just barely lift the foot. The higher you lift, the harder it gets. You want to keep your hips level and stable. So of course, if the knee comes up more, your hip tends to lift. But you want to just find a nice low balance there. Again, if you start to lose your balance, touch your foot, get yourself stable. All right, let's do the other side. Flexing. And just barely lift that knee. It's always good to find a single focal point to look at. I'm looking right at the camera right now, and that keeps all other distractions and movements away. All right, you did it. That was so good, let's do it again. This time we're going to do it with the foot turned out, because later on this could turn into a classic tree pose, but we're just going to do the simple balance here with the knee turned out this time. Just barely lift the foot. Different feeling now, a little more rotation in the hip and down. As you can see, I started to lose my balance slightly, so all I did was touch my foot, get myself stable, and try again. All right, let's do the other side. Start with that flexed foot there. That's your little stabilizer. And just barely lift the foot. You may find that you can balance more easily on one side than another. But as in all exercise, we like to make sure that we work unilaterally, both sides of the body, so that we can equalize as much as we can. And down. Now we're going into some bigger poses, now that we're a little bit warmed up. The first one is called the garland pose. It's basically a big squat. So we've done the chair pose already. This is just a little different feeling when you do this one. You're going to feel it in your inner thighs. So hands together, feet wider apart now. You're going to just bend down, squatting however much you can. Now, if you can get between your knees, you can press your elbows there and then push back with your knees. And you're really going to feel those inner thighs working. If you can't reach your knees, just keep it up here. Give a little pressure in your hands, and you'll feel your pectoral muscles working. This is not one of the more attractive poses, but it's very beneficial. And straighten back up. A little bit wider. Again, just check and see how wide you can go. We're going to do a wide forward bend now. With the arms out, take a big breath. Exhale down. And again, take hold of your knees, your calves, or your ankles, wherever you need to. Lower the head down. Look between your legs. When you're upside down, that's called an inverted pose. And it's good for the blood circulation. It gets blood to your brain, especially if you're feeling lethargic. But come up slowly, and don't stay too long in inverted poses if you have blood pressure issues. And again, since we bent forward, we want to release the back backwards. So let's clasp our hands and do that open heart again, and look to the ceiling. Okay, now we're ready for warrior poses. Most people are familiar with warrior poses in yoga. I like them because they're strong and stable, and they're good for all levels of practice. I'm going to rotate that foot to line up with my hand. The other foot is back there staying stable. And just bending into that pose. Try to avoid pushing the body forward. Keep the body up, upright. Feel the weight evenly between both legs so that you're not putting too much pressure on that front leg. And just breathe. Lengthen those arms and feel powerful. All right, rotate that foot back. Let's turn the other foot out, and we'll do warrior on the other side. Think of everything in line, your nose, your hand, your knees, and your toes. Long line from one arm through the other. And just breathe easily. This is called proud warrior. So think of yourself as being proud as you do this. And together. All right, we're going to do warrior one right now. Let those arms relax. They get a workout just being extended. Warrior one is also called exalted warrior. So a lot of stretch going on in the upper body in this one. Turn the foot again, just like you did with warrior one. We're going to open the arms this time so you're facing that leg. Same thing, slowly bend the knee, and this time lift the arms straight up to the sky. Again, keep the weight balanced evenly between both legs. There's a lot of internal processing going on as you do this, observing what's happening in your body, and that's good. Turn to the other side. Let's open the arms again on this side, and then reaching into warrior one, exalted warrior. Turn to the front again. And now from here, relax the arms a moment. We're going to do the goddess pose, turning both toes out now. Stretching the arms, and this is just a deep knee bend, more stretching in the hips and the thighs. Again, this is a very strong pose, and you may start to feel that in your thighs, so come up a little bit if it feels uncomfortable. But also, when you feel that burn, don't shy away from it. That's lactic acid releasing. It's pumping your muscles up as they begin to work harder. And stretch back up. We're almost done. Let's bring the feet together. Standing once more in mountain pose. Let's take a deep breath here. Sometimes it's good to breathe between poses. We unintentionally may hold our breath if we're working hard in a pose. So this just restores the rhythm of our breath. And finally, before we cool down, we're just going to do empty bottle. This works both your abdominal muscles and your spine all at the same time. I'm going to do it sideways so you can see. Again, bending the knees just like in chair pose. Place your hands on your thighs, hands turned in, elbows rotated out. It's just a breathing exercise, but you use your abdominal muscles to do this. Take a deep breath in, lift the head and the tailbone, so you're arching your back up. Exhale, as the air goes out, push your navel, your belly button towards your spine. Breathe in again, deep breath, full lung power. Exaggerate that curve in the back. Exhale, round the back up, pushing the belly button in towards your spine. Let's keep going. And exhale. Feel that rounding in the back. As modern dancers know, this is contract and release. This is the contract right here. This is the release. All right, come out of that slowly. We are almost done now, so we're just coming back to mountain. And just releasing any tension we might have built up in the shoulders, rolling back. Sometimes when we're concentrating and working hard, we get tension in the shoulders and neck. Let's go forward. And a little shoulder shrug. Breathe in. Exhale out. Lift up. Exhale out. Bring the hands together. A little easy twist. Just loosening the back. And then let's just begin where we started. Up. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. Exhale. And namaste.